just strolling through my house and be like, oh, culture drop. Good to see you. When did you get in here? What are you doing in my living room? Let's talk about something, which is that healthy teams can say real shit. One thing that I think makes teams almost invulnerable and free of dysfunction and toxicity is the ability for people to say what needs to be said and say the real shit, and for everybody else on that team to be able to hear that with open, receptive, curious ears. This is a mix of growth mindset, right? And just being adverse to saving face and having ego, but just how can we improve? How can we be better? Emotional intelligence, about understanding the impact of our responses on other people and how that impacts relationships. But for anyone on a team to be able to give direct feedback or say, hey, I think this is something as a team that we actually are really weak at, we struggle with, or that we suck at. For everyone on a team to be able to hear the real thing, and for someone to say this is my observation, this is my opinion, this is my feedback about something. You don't have to agree with it, but especially as a colleague and I think times 10 as a leader, if you possess the quality where any one of your employees or anybody you work with can come to you and say, hey, I think you're a shitty leader, you're a bad listener, you shoot down on my ideas, no matter what it is, that somebody can say something to you that they would be afraid to tell someone else, and and they trust that you will always respond well. Your response will always be, tell me more about that. Let's explore that. Let me understand that. Let me make that better. Let's talk about that relationship. Let's talk about that dynamic. If somebody truly has that as a quality, as a colleague, as a friend, as a partner in a romantic relationship, as a leader, it makes you invulnerable. I want to hear the things that you have to say that aren't great so we can talk about that. I don't necessarily agree with you, but let's get to the heart of that if that's your observation, if that's your experience here, so that we can correct that, we can fix it, whether that's us as a team or me as an individual or you and I in terms of our relationship. The ability to create, this is part of psychological safety. It's I can say the real thing that needs to be said, knowing that the people around me will receive it well and hear that with receptive ears, that I won't feel judged or shamed, right? Or punished for having an outlier opinion. That when that element exists inside teams, we innovate better, we brainstorm better, we find solutions better. Nobody leaves the thing that needs to be said left unsaid. It's so healthy, something to be very, very intentional about, to instill in a group of people together. It's hey, we need to be able to say real shit and hear those things with open, receptive ears and be cool, let's talk about that, let's explore that, let's dive deeper, let's solve that stuff. Down, down. I can do that. Can you even see my arms? Can you even tell which arm is which? Thanks for watching and tuning in. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have our weekly email list, the Culture Drop. You can subscribe to that and get these emails right in your inbox. Follow our social media channels. Put out a lot of free content around being more awesome and building great teams.